Welcome to the Litter Media Game of the Week preview show. It's the Paint Valley Bearcats and the Unioto Shermans getting together for this weekend's featured game by Litter Media Radio. I'm Dan Ramey. He's Mike Smith, longtime voice of the Scioto Valley Conference, and you've probably seen one or two of these Paint Valley Unioto matchups before.
A couple.
Yeah, just a couple, just a couple. Every team is different. There's no question about that. And as we jump into this, there's a lot of pride on the line. It's going to be mentioned several times. This is a heavyweight bout between two of the top teams in the SVC.
This rivalry probably goes back to the beginning of the conference in the early 60s because they were two charter members for the SVC.
1963, too?
Well, it all started at a meeting at Lake White Club. And then one of the things they were waiting on was for Unioto to get football because the other schools that were wanting to join had it, and that was the stipulation. You couldn't join until you had football. Mm-hmm. So the following year, I think they waited on Unioto so they could, I think they were calling it Unioto even back then.
Yeah.
So Unioto is the defending champion. To date, the Sherman football program has won 8 SVC championships. Paint Valley has won in the teens. But the only thing that's on the line here for Friday night is if Unioto wins, they clinch a share of the championship with Southeastern remaining on their schedule. If Paint Valley wins and Zane Trace wins their game, there will be a 3-way tie for first with Paint Valley going to Zane Trace the following week.
Right, which means the best it could be would be co-championship.
Right. So there's all your if-ins, as Andy Griffith would say.
Yeah, and Paint Valley fans are going, thanks, Piketon.
Yeah, the Red Streaks have been the spoiler so far.
They have, absolutely. All right, coming up in a moment, we'll take a look at hearing both coaches visited with Matt Hoops yesterday and Corey Dye. So those conversations are coming up shortly, but let's take a look back at week 8 of the high school football season. Our broadcast game was Jackson and Miami Trace. This looked like it was going to be a very tight contest until late in the game.
Yeah, Trace was actually up 21-16, and then Jackson scored 20 unanswered points before Miami Trace could respond, but the game was pretty much in the book by then.
Chillicothe gets its first win on the season, 40-7 over McLean, and Washington, I think, surprised Hillsboro and a lot of people with a 50-30 victory.
Was not expecting that.
Yeah, I was talking with the coaches after the game, and Andy Hall was saying, what's going on with the game with Hillsboro and Washington? I said, Washington wins it. He says, what?
Yeah.
So congratulations to the Blue Lions on picking up that win over the Indians. SVC action, as you mentioned, again, Unioto picking up the win over Zane Trace. That puts Zane Trace into second place right now, along with Paint Valley, and Paint Valley with a win over Huntington. Piketon defeated Southeastern. A couple of shutouts there back-to-back for these two ball clubs, Paint Valley and Piketon. And Westfall outscores Adena 42-34.
I was told Zane Trace was up on Unioto 14-12 in that game.
Wow.
And then
tale of two halves.
Yeah, 16 unanswered points.
Down to the SOC, Wheelersburg surprised Waverly 42-12. Valley, a winner over Oak Hill, and West pounded Northwest 35-0. SOC Eastern is undefeated with their win over Notre Dame, and Sims Valley picks up a win over East. On to the TVC, Athens also undefeated, and they're pretty much a lock for the playoffs from what I understand. And Vinton County picks up a win over River Valley, and look at this, 3 shutouts in TVC, Ohio. Nelsonville, York powering their way past Alexander. Eastern Megs picks up a win over Trimble, 41-20. In the OCC, Newark, 35-7 over Taze Valley. Taze Valley, despite this back-to-back losses, they are still in the running for the playoffs.
That's correct. Yeah.
I believe they're 7th, I think it is, in their region right now. Canal Winchester, a winner over Logan, who is 1-7 and is at 17th in their standings. If you're 16th at the end of the week next week, you're going on to the playoffs. Reynoldsburg, a winner over Lancaster, 26-23 in a close one, and Pickerington Central, outscoring Groveport 35-28. In the OVC, Portsmouth a winner over Rock Hill. Portsmouth, are they a lock for the playoffs?
They are clinched. Yeah.
You could mark Ironton as in week one. Ironton a 41-0 winner over Fairland, and Chesapeake takes Gallia Academy. Mid-State League Cardinal had Grove City Christian, who I don't think they've suffered a loss this year.
I think that's right.
Picking up a win. And Miller also victorious over Fairfield Christian. In the Mid-State League Buckeye, Amanda Clear Creek kind of upsets the apple cart on Logan Elm with a 42-12 win there. Fairfield Union over Circleville, Hamilton Township a winner over Liberty Union. And in non-league action, Bloom Carroll suffered a 44-38 loss to Bishop Hartley, who is a tough nut to crack. And Meg's a winner over Minford, with Manchester taking Federal Hocking. So that's how things played out in that reaction for week number 8 of the high school football season. We say it every year. It's hard to believe it's week 9. And next thing you know, we'll be saying,
playoffs.
Keep an eye on us for the playoffs, right?
Playoffs?
Yeah, the playoffs are just 2 weeks away. That's hard to fathom. Coming up, as the Litter Media Game of the Week preview show continues, it's the host coach. We're talking about Matt Hoops for the Unioto Shermans. A visit with him coming up on the Litter Media Game of the Week preview show.
Our financial lives have never been more complex, and some decisions just can't wait, which is why our K&B Mobility app gives you instant access to the financial tools you need wherever you are. Get a clear picture of all of your accounts, check your daily transactions, receive account alerts, and much more. So no matter where you are or what you are doing, you can make the best decisions for you and your financial goals. Download our Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Are you looking for a beer that satisfies your thirst and love of country? Armed Forces Brewing Company brews beer for patriots. Celebrate freedom with every sip. Armed Forces Brewing Company. Freedom never tasted so good.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, oh, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
Mark came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc. Minimally invasive spinal surgery got him back to what matters most. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Serving Central and Southern Ohio for more than 4 decades. Give them a call for your needs at Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Online propane monitoring and reporting. Know your home's consumption and gas remaining in the tank. Find out more at litterpropane.com.
Up next on the Litter Media Game of the Week preview show, the host of this week's contest, the Unioto Shermans, Matt Hoops. And Coach, I know outside of Amanda Clear Creek being your only loss in the season, things have been going right along, cruising for your ball club.
It goes so fast. You said cruising along. I mean, it just goes so fast. Last couple years have, and we're in a pretty good spot right now in terms of our health. We were kind of decimated early on with some injuries to a lot of key people, and we were playing a lot of inexperienced people early in the season. So it's moving along whether you're ready or not, and we've had to put guys in situations and throw guys in the fire, so to speak, and get to where we are right now, and we're really happy with our guys and their progress that they've made as the season's gone along.
And you found yourself a quarterback. This is a young kid, and at the same time, when you think about Unioto offensively, you've got weapons, and that's very key for a young quarterback.
Yeah, all summer long, really, in the back of the entire coaching staff's mind is, if you can avoid playing an underclassman at quarterback, it's probably the best. But when you sit there and you look at it and you say, what gives us our best chance to win in terms of putting our 11 best players on the field, that's kind of what happened. And we felt more comfortable being able to do that when your top two receivers from last year, and Blake Hoops and Caden Cutright are returning. Um, what better pieces to have to help kind of bridge that gap for a young quarterback? And then we felt like up front, we were going to be pretty good. We had to replace. We lost two starters from last year's offensive line, but returned three. So it is what it is, and it's worked out the way it's worked out. But our guys deserve a lot of that credit for making Isaac's job a little bit easier. Our running game here recently has gotten on track with the emergence of Cody Braden as he's gotten healthy as the season's gone on. So we are where we are because of the guys in that locker room and their ability to improve week to week and Friday night to Friday night.
Yeah, and you get to week 8 of the season, you find yourself dealing with everybody's got bumps and bruises along the way, and it's whoever's the healthiest and and playing consistently. And you've been getting that consistent play out of your team, both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. As I mentioned before, we lost we lost KB Perkins in the spring with a knee injury, who was probably going to vie for that quarterback position. We lost our left tackle in the middle of the summer. We lost our tailback the first quarter of the game in Ty Woods. And then we've lost three young JV linemen that have helped our depth in practice and on the offensive line throughout the season. So we felt like we got all of our injuries out of the way early. And we've just gotten stronger as the year's gone on. And knock on wood that we are done with all of that. But football is a very physical game. Obviously, everyone knows that. And you're right. At this time of the year, we are, bruised up and things like that. But winning helps cure a lot of those bruises. Those things hurt a lot worse when you lose. And fortunately for us, we've been able to take care of business on Friday nights here as of late.
And now the Paint Valley Bearcats come to your place, and you always want to place a game like this at home. And so you've got that home field advantage in that respect, I guess. But Paint Valley is a team that has suffered a couple of nicks along the way here of late. But outside of that, man, it starts with Braylon Robinson, and you got to stop that running attack if you're going to slow down Paint Valley.
Absolutely. Braylon's an outstanding running back, but really does a lot of things for those guys. He controls their defense in the middle at linebacker, and he kicks and punts for them. So, he's kind of a jack of all trades type of kid. He's a tough kid. He's a hard nosed kid, and he makes them go for sure. But they've got weapons all around him. You spoke earlier about our guys. They have that ability as well, and Carson Free and the Faber, the quarterback, has gotten a lot better as he's a year older. So, and then a couple other players have kind of stepped up and risen to the occasion as the season's gone on to kind of complement the rest of those guys. So, very dangerous team. They score a lot of points, score quickly. They can score quickly, but at the same time, they can pound you all the way down the field with Bray if they want to do it that way too.
In those heavyweight battles, it's whoever's still the fittest at the end of the contest. And I know you want to jump out as early as you can on a team, but when you go toe to toe with somebody like Paint Valley, you've just got to make sure you get 4 quarters, don't you?
Yeah, and that's something that we're looking to do. We really haven't, through our first 8 games, I can't say that we've played a complete 4 quarters yet. That's something that we're harping on, and we're trying to get our guys to buy into, whether it be we come out really hot and get up early and then kind of hit cruise, or we have maybe a tough start and have to come back in the second half or the second quarter, third quarter, whatever the situation may be. We're looking to be able to put all of that together. But the analogy of going toe to toe in a heavyweight fight or whatever. And that's a good one for the game of football. And the game in the trenches is the most important thing, and whoever can win the line of scrimmage is typically going to win the game. And we expect that to be the case on Friday.
Of course, you have different levels along the way during a season. You got opening day, which is huge for everybody. Then you got homecoming. Then you've got, when it comes right down to it, if you're going into the final weeks of the season, you're undefeated in regards to conference play. You're playing for a title, and that's where it's all on the line. These are the kinds of games you want to play.
Yeah, I mean, I got goosebumps just now that you just said that. It's exciting. It's exciting for our program. It's exciting for our fans. It's exciting for our school. And you're right. You talk to these guys all summer long, and all winter long and all spring about putting yourself in positions to play for championships. And that's why you do all of that stuff in the off season and in the preseason to put yourself in this spot and to kind of arrive at this spot and be able to have a chance to do it. It's a great feeling, but now you have to go out and do it. And our guys are really excited for the opportunity and I've had a good week of practice so far. And, just hopefully it translates to Friday night.
Coach Matt Hoops, Unioto Shermans, we'll talk to you Friday night down on the field. Looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you.
More coming up in just a moment on the Litter Media Game of the Week preview show.
Our financial lives have never been more complex, and some decisions just can't wait, which is why our K&B Mobility app gives you instant access to the financial tools you need wherever you are. Get a clear picture of all of your accounts, check your daily transactions, receive account alerts, and much more. So no matter where you are or what you are doing, you can make the best decisions for you and your financial goals. Download our Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
At Country Clipper, pride runs deep. We take pride in knowing our mowers help create a space for families to make memories. That our features transform mowing into an enjoyable experience. Most importantly, we take pride in knowing the decision to purchase a Country Clipper will be one you can be proud of for years to come. Country Clipper zero-turn mowers.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
With Corey Dye now on the Litter Media Game of the Week preview show, and this is a big week, huge week.
It sure is.
Anytime you play Unioto, it's huge, but
Right.
Extra special meaning this year, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, the fact that both of us are 7-1 going in this game, it makes it extra special. And obviously the SVC title's on the line, and our kids are really excited about this opportunity, and I know Zane, Unioto and Zane Trace, you can't forget about them either.
Yeah.
As far as the league title, but our kids they've been working hard all week, and we're real excited about this game this week.
One of the things that we talked about with Coach Hoops is the same that we've talked with you all the time. You guys have every element that you need with a team. You're heavyweights, and going into this contest, just about anything can happen, but you got to play 4 full quarters.
Yeah, you got to play 4 good quarters in all 3 phases of the game. You gotta do the job on offense. Can't turn the ball over. Defensively, you can't give up big plays, and then special teams, you got to keep them on the other end of the field. So, it's a big game for us, and again, we've got to play really well in all 3 phases of the game in order to have a chance to win.
You have to stay healthy too, don't you?
You do. Health is definitely a factor. This point in the season, everybody's a little bit banged up. I know they have injuries, we have injuries, so it's one of those games where we got to have other guys step up for guys that maybe aren't playing in a game, and that's what makes football. I know those kids for a fact are excited about the opportunity, so you know, it's just a matter of getting out there and take care of business.
You don't change who you are for a game like this. And what has been working well for you this year, and what do you hope to work well for you again Friday night?
Yeah, I feel like we've had a nice mixture of a run attack and pass. I think our ratio has been a lot better than in previous years. We're able to throw the ball a lot more this year. Preston's done a great job. I feel like we've got a good core of receivers. Obviously, everybody knows who Carson Free is, but you know, we've got other receivers that we've distributed the ball to, and it's definitely made other teams have a hard time defending us. But you know, credit goes to our offensive line. I feel like they're getting better each and every week, and it's not an easy job to play offensive line. You know, they don't really get all the glory that, you know, some of the other skill guys get, but they don't care. They're not the type that wants any glory. They just want to get the job done and win. And but yeah, you know, our offense has definitely had a lot of success this year, and hopefully going in this game, you know, we can continue to do the things that we're capable of doing.
A lot of preparation to get you to this point. What's your message to the team?
Message to the team is you can't try to do too much in this game. You know, you got to trust the guy next to you to do their job, and you know, we've got to be able to keep our composure because it is an emotional game, and we've got to be able to block out kind of all the outside sources and just really focus on doing our job and doing it well.
A lot of eyes on you this week. Good luck to you.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
Coach Corey Dye with the Paint Valley Bearcats.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance on and off the track.
All right, well, here we go, baby. Wall on your left, three to your right, hard left, get on the gas, going for the win. There you go.
That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When insuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Serving our area for more than 4 decades, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. If you click on any ad on our website, you'll find more information. AccurateHVAC.com.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Litter Quality Propane, 92 years of serving propane users in southern and central Ohio. Reliable supply, reliable service, reliable people. Litter Quality Propane.
And if you go out to Unioto, you'll see a
Unioto
tank.
Yes.
And not talking about the Sherman tank that you see out in front of the school, but a litter quality propane tank that is wrapped with the Unioto Sherman tanks. It is on there, and the logo. I will also say that when I was out talking with Corey Dye, there is a litter propane brick that is placed in their sponsorship wall that they have next to the field house. So litter quality propane was everywhere there.
Yes, sir.
Yesterday and this Friday night. Well, we've heard from both coaches. What did you take from those conversations?
It's always amazed me over the years when you talk to coaches, 90% of them are very guarded in what they say.
Yeah.
Because they don't want the other guy to know. I know Corey referred to, well, we've had some players dinged up. They've had some players dinged up. I don't know how much the coaches compare notes on that stuff ahead of time. Most coaches don't want you to know.
Yeah.
I remember Morris Gulligan used to, years ago, Mike, we're banged up, and then you go into the game and everybody he said that was hurting was playing and doing very well. But both of these teams are pretty much even on scoring for defensive scoring. Unioto has given up 89 points this year, Paint Valley 82. On the offensive side, Unioto has scored 256, but Paint Valley has racked up 301 points. We've talked about the scenario at the beginning of the show about the SVC standings, but playoffs, which we alluded to, specifically, both of these teams have already clinched playoff spots. So from here, you're playing for home field advantage, which is the top 8 teams out of the 16 in your region. I think Paint Valley's currently in 3rd. I think Unioto is 4th. Now, these are different divisions you're talking about, so a lot of points on the line for a possible home field advantage for the winner of this game Friday night.
Chances are, yeah, like I say, if you win this game, you're probably going to be hosting a playoff game in Week 11, which is just around the corner. And there's a number of teams that are in our coverage area that we have been following this year that find themselves in sweet positions for making it into the playoffs.
Yeah, just an example, BJ Daly and I were talking in the pregame show last week of the Jackson-Miami Trace game. Going into that game, Jackson was 15th in their region.
Yeah.
But by winning, they jumped to number 9. So that's how many points or how many positions you can rise when you beat, what I say, a quality team. I'm talking about a team that has a lot of points to offer you if you beat them.
Yeah, because if they would have beaten Ironton earlier in the season, they'd probably be number 1 or 2 in their region. So, but still much climbing to be done over these next 2 games. So week number 9 is this week. And again, it is Unioto hosting Paint Valley. Coming up in a moment, we'll announce our player of the week. Details just ahead.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When insuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
Pain was interfering with Tiffany's active lifestyle. Same-day hip replacement at the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute got her back to the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
Are you looking for a beer that satisfies your thirst and love of country? Armed Forces Brewing Company brews beer for patriots. Celebrate freedom with every sip. Armed Forces Brewing Company. Freedom never tasted so good. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
And it's time to announce this week's Player of the Week. Here he is. He is like on the top of the podium right here, right?
He is indeed. Number 1.
Speaking of Cameron Phillips of Lucasville Valley, you were telling me just a few short moments ago that one of the Southern Ohio coaches says he's probably the best player in Ohio.
Of any division. Of course, the best way to figure that out is what was your score based on everybody else's score. Of course, you could argue, well, they didn't play the same course. But Cameron of the Valley Indians, Lucasville Valley, he's the individual boys Division III state champion from last weekend. He shot a 7 under par, 137. That's for 18 holes on each of the 2 days that he played. He was at 66 in his first round, and 71, which is still under par, in the second round for the total of 137.
Our normal producer here, Mr. Hand 2, Aaron Glandon.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When insuring what...
There we are. He said to me the other day, he said, boy, 66, that's probably my first hole. So
yeah, I've been watching this kid in baseball, football for the last few years. I don't know that he played football this year, but he's just a tremendous athlete. And for those of you that don't play the sport of golf, I don't anymore, but that's a skill set, folks. I mean, when you swing that club to have consistency, it's got to be the same as it was the time before. Right. If you're just off a hair, it's everywhere. But congratulations. We have not had all that many individual state champions in this area over the years. So that's some rare air that Cameron Phillips was in last weekend.
If you are listening to this on our Friday program, a lot of the play that's going on today is tennis taking place, and you were following Bella Flores just a moment ago from Chillicothe, and she's won her first 2 sets.
Well, she won her first match 2-1, so she will advance to the next round. And as an individual, of course, you have doubles competition. Waverly, I believe, Claire Morrison is playing as an individual. That is, or singles. That's in a different division, I think, than Bella is. Maybe 2 as opposed to 1. So.
Yeah, Bella's in that top division, and I know Chillicothe has had 2 doubles champions, state champions, but never a singles state champion. So really pulling for Bella here, as we are pulling for all the kids when they get into the competition, but it'd be extra special to have that because that's something that you're out there on your own. You have no team behind you, and if you make a mistake, it's your mistake. But if you take advantage of every possibility, then you are the top dog. So we hope that's the case for Bella. I believe you 4 matches and you win. You win 4 and you win the state championship.
And they're at the College of Worcester. They're not at Mason like they have been in recent years. They were doing some construction, although the ATP championships were back at Mason this year. But I think they get so much of it fixed, and then they shut it down. But I think the idea is to get it back there in the next year or 2.
And we've got 4 girls playing. We've got a doubles team from Logan Elm, and then Claire Morrison as the other individual. So wouldn't it be cool if they all 3 came back with?
That'd be sweet.
That would be something.
Unprecedented was what that would be.
We would have to have a special Litter Media Game of the Week review show, speaking tennis with these kids. So good luck, kids, and we hope you bring home some hardware. All right, that's it for the Litter Media Game of the Week preview show. Unioto hosting Payne Valley. Our coverage begins at 6:50 on Litter Media Radio. If you want to find out how to listen to Litter Media Radio, just go to our website. It's playing there all the time.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important
I keep bumping that. Andy Tomlinson's going to be really happy that I'm interrupting his commercials. But
he interrupted us.
He did. Andy's okay with that too, I'm sure. But if you want to find us, just go to littermedia.com, and there's a radio player right there. And share it with your friends and everyone so that you can follow along and hear the real voice of the SVC calling the game-by-game action.
And if you go to our score page on Friday that's got all the games that are going to be played, the game of the week, there's a link there that takes you also to that page. There's multiple ways you can get there.
Absolutely. Of course, if you're following us, you already know. But tell your friends so that they can find out too. That's it for the program today. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and we're back with you again with a daily edition of Litter Media Live coming up tomorrow at 11 o'clock. For Mike Smith, I'm Dan Ramey. We'll see you soon.